Coming around at the next embayment, and a peat platform with granular peats on the surface, and a thin veneer of very fine sands, possibly muds as well. Predominantly peat is the character of the surface material. As we come into the inner part of this bay, low back shore. And about a metre high, maybe 2 metres, just a draped carpet of peat over the intertidal zone, and just a peat water interface. A little bit higher elevation, some clastics in this low area, but basically a peat shoreline, continuous peat shoreline. 2 to 3 metre high now, a little bit slightly higher elevation, peat shoreline. And no beach at the base, just slumped or draped peat at the waterline. Just a drowned tundra peat platform, drowned shoreline, and heading in the entrance to this bay, or heading out of this, and it's just again drowned tundra, inundated lowland tundra, little peat beach on the interior part there, showing the influence of the west winds, and inundated lowland tundra. No clastic sediments at the shoreline. Dark material, all peat. Peat shoreline, inundated lowland tundra. Little cliff in some places. Actually, you see some ice in some of this as well. So just a peat shoreline. And still continuing peat platform. It's just peat in one form or another, isn't it? It's either granular, slump block, peat platform, draped, granular going through frame. One way or another, it's all peat. Peat cliff here, ice-rich tundra cliff, and now a carpet of peat over the cliff face. Granular peat beach, draped carpet, slump block, thermo-erosional niche in the ice at the base. Basically a ice-rich tundra cliff, 4 or 5 metres high, maybe a bit more, 8 metres in a few places, little beach of peat. No beach in front. Tundra cliff shoreline. Peat beach in front of the cliff. Reasonably continuous beach in front of the cliff. Beach in front of the cliff. It's a beach, it's about a couple of metres wide, maybe 5-10 metres in a few places, and it's got a little erosional scarp on the edge of it by wave, created by wave action. A little bit of unconsolidated veneer through that one section we just passed. Slightly lower elevations, then back up again, a little foreland, a mixture of plastic and peat material. Now no beach in front of this high ice-rich cliff. Slump peat blocks over the ice face. About 5 metres, 6 metres high, maybe a bit more in a few places. Elevation varying with local topography, with slump peat blocks over the permafrost exposed in the tundra cliff. Little bits of some patch of unconsolidated in there, clastic, that is unconsolidated clastic, and again. And at the foreland here, it looks like it actually is unconsolidated clastics forming these small ridges. with surface veneer of granules and pebbles, but basically it's sand. It's a sand beach with just a surface lag, and it's going to peter out a little bit. Still present with some dark peat colored material on the surface, and it peters out just about here now, just back to the tundra cliff. Intermittent plastics, but not much of a beach of anything now. Basically a tundra cliff shoreline. Quite high, 10 meters, 12 meters in a few places. Intermittent beach at the base. Mainly slumped peat blocks or accumulated peat material. Peat again. Just slumped peat blocks, little drowned estuary. And a couple of beaches there of unconsolidated medium fine grain sand with a veneer of granules, and then back to Tundra Cliff. Tundra Cliff again. Really not a beach at the base, and some accumulations of clastics, but not a lot. Mainly slumped peat blocks and some thermal-erosional niches, but mainly mud and mud peat. Really no beach material being supplied from the relatively rapid erosion of this ice-rich exposed tundra. Thermal-erosional niche underneath, slumped peat material, no real beach at the base. And about 10 to 12 meters high, maybe 15 in a few places. Quite a lot of ice exposed through here. About 10-12 meters elevation, still pretty uniform. A few patches of unconsolidated beach at the base of the cliff now, but a lot of just slumped peat on top, and a little foreland here of more lowland tundra, and some clastic beach there. Very low veneer of material sitting on the surface, and a couple of ridges now. Looking back, typical classic. It's sand granules. There's a surface veneer of granules and small pebbles. They're white, if one can see. Basically these slightly large materials from caribou and peat at the shoreline, granular peat. Yeah, sands and granules and small pebbles at the clastic, with the unconsolidated peat sitting on top of that. Very low back shore, very low relief in general, still uniform as described, and elevation now going to increase, and so the beach is going to peter out. A few cobbles in there. The white material actually is cobbles, and a little bit more elevation. We've still got some sand, pebbles and scattered cobbles at the base of this cliff, and hasn't petered out yet. Elevation increasing a little bit in the back shore, but a continuous beach still. And now the beach is sort of just petered out through there, and now we're getting peat at the shoreline on the thermal-erosional niche at the base, higher relief, 10, 12, maybe 15 meters in a few places. Patches of unconsolidated, back to beach now. Medium fine-grained sands with some a line of peat at the waterline, coming and going. Now, it's none right now, it's just a basic tundra cliff section. High, just mud and peat at the waterline, no beach. Tundra shoreline. Just patches of unconsolidated sands in a few places. Ice exposed there. Beach in a few places through here. Beach of unconsolidated clastics, that is, and then back to thermo-erosional tundra cliff, ice exposed, thermal erosional niche at the base, undercut, and draping or slumped peat. Yeah, ice clearly visible through these sections. Another small beach of medium fine grained sands with the surface veneer of granules and slumped peat. Very low elevation shoreline. Small pocket beach of sands and granules, and back to peat. Where are we, Doug?
Oh, just coming soon to that mess, so we're going to have to climb and deal with it.
Yeah, very complex down there.
Yeah.
And thermo-erosional cliff, draped peat or slumped peat blocks over the exposed permafrost in the cliff. No clastics really to speak of. Just a little pocket here and there, maybe nothing really significant in terms of beach formation. Tundra is about 5 meters high. General little clastic beach through this one section, resting on a peat platform, and some clastics forming a beach on that little embankment. Still got some clastics at the base now, back to tundra. Just a low tundra and some clastics resting on the peak platform, little barrier beach of clastics, fine medium grain sands, don't see any coarse material, just a lot of caribou hoof prints. Dark material now being a peat beach resting on the, peat beach resting on the,
we'll go into this one.
On the peat platform, granular beach resting on the peat platform, and peat platform. Peat beach resting on granular, unconsolidated material into tundra cliff shoreline, slump peat or draped carpet of peat sitting on top of the exposed permafrost. No beach through this section. Tundra, keep hitting that damn thing. There we go. Just trouble with cold fingers, as the actress said to the bishop. And peat shoreline through here. Peat headland, peat shoreline. Peat shoreline, draped peat. You can see ice exposed in the cliff. No unconsolidated sediments, clastics. No beach. Tundra cliff.
Yeah, you got a narrow channel into a large backshore beam that we won't go into this one.
Right. It's actually just a vegetated, the whole interior area which is looking at now. It's really just vegetation at the waterline, just ground, low-lying area, vegetation at the waterline. Seeing in center frame now, absolutely typical of everything. I don't see any cliffs. Well, actually, way in the distance there may be some cliff, but this is basically going to be a tundra shoreline. Now it's a beach of peat, maybe resting on some clastics, don't know, but surface is peat anyway. Little cliff now, back to cliff at 1 or 2 meters, 1 meter, peat beach, inundated lowland shoreline, and continuous beach of peat sitting on clastics at the base of this cliff. About the elevation of the cliff's quite high now, 10, 12, maybe 15 meters in places. Some sections of unconsolidated plastics at the base. Right through there, there's a little beach of unconsolidated plastics. And back to peat, intermittent plastic material. That's a bit more sandy than was just previously, so getting a little bit more beach here and there, and slump blocks, peat blocks over the cliff face, and peat beach resting on a peat platform, and some fine-grained sands also visible with a lighter color. Really not a beach though, this is just, it's sediments resting on a peat platform. And again, this is the same here, it's not really a beach, it's just some sediments sitting on the edge of the peat platform. And about a half a meter little etched cliff in the edge of the peat. And about a 1 meter peat cut cliff. No real unconsolidated material here, just little patches in some of the embayments and some of the indentations. Mainly peat granular material that's in there. If there is any clastics and the peat's resting on the clastic, there's a peat beach. Probably has some in there, but it's not a dominant characteristic. It's a peat shoreline with basically unconsolidated granular peats. Continuing very low shoreline through here, and about a half a meter, 1 meter high cliff or cut at the edge of the peat, and occasional pockets of granular peat material forming a type of beach. Just straightening out the shoreline really rather than a beach. So tundra cliff, 3-4 meters high, occasionally getting a bit higher now, and slump peat blocks in the on the face of the cliff, ice below. And that's sand, you see, we don't get a bit more mixture.
You want to climb up a little bit.
Okay, there's a peat beach below.
Come around to your left, yep.
Inundated lowland tundra, and the whole character of this area is inundated lowland tundra. And so huge embayments in the back here, can see all the way back in there. Really don't see, there's a few sections of cliff, but this whole area, full frame, is coastal zone, very complex, many, probably hundreds of kilometers of shoreline in through here, and it's all basically drowned lowland tundra. Haven't seen any much in the way of classic materials at all. There's going to be some sections of cliff, but basically one's going to map this entirely as drowned lowland tundra. And see right center frame. See, there is a little cliff in here. A little. It's an 8-9 meter high cliff, but it's a short section. What I should be saying is a short section of cliff in otherwise a very low relief, drowned lowland tundra. Again, everything that's visible through these frames into the far distance really is coastal. It's all connected basically through these small, large channels, such as one upper right frame going into a drowned system of lakes that have been interconnected. The tundra lakes are interconnected to a large degree anyway, and this just happens to be in the coastal zone, and so they're subject to seawater, but not really coastal in the processes sense. Most of the water line is just an interface between water and tundra, just as a lake would be. So they're not really coastal zone in the context of coastal processes. Tides being minimal and waves being the same as waves that would be generated on any lake surface. So a drowned lowland tundra, inundated lowland tundra. Mud, there's a shoal bank, extreme upper right frame, mud shoal, where the peat's been stripped off the surface. Again, this whole embayment snaking through upper center frame is connected to the coast, and heaven knows how far it goes in there. Right, just round, low-lying area, inundated lowland tundra. So where are we in the bay, mate? Oh yeah, I gotcha. So we're almost at the southern end of Admiralty Arm. It took about an hour and 20 minutes to get here, so we should finish this on this lot, right? With any luck.
Yeah, that sounds good. How about the straight ahead? Do you want to go into this bay, or do you want me to go ahead and turn to the left?
No, let's go in a little bit.
Okay, drop back down or stay here, what?
I can stay up here for a bit.
Yeah, you're getting a good sense of the whole complexity and configuration of the interior area. It's just tundra water interface.
Kind of head over to those cliffs and you're right over there.
To the right? Okay.
Yeah.
Drop back down for those.
You can come down a little bit, yep.
Some nice laying your cells below. So inundated lowland tundra with occasional tundra cliffs where you've got some higher relief, such as in frame right now. These are about 10, 12 meters high. And just that one section, they're getting back lower to just a couple of meters high now. And peat shoreline, a few accumulations of plastic material. And a peat beach now fronting this lowland area. Peat platform, inundated lowland tundra. No plastics through here. Inundated lowland tundra. That's not what's in frame now. Isn't connected to the coast, but would be inundated during wind setup periods. Can drown this whole coast inland for several kilometers with one setup. So potentially brackish. And top frame, that's all connected into the coastal zone. The inundated lowland tundra. See a little connection of that small channel between those. That lake and the coastal waters. So we're turning in front of this bay, and again, pretty uniform. It's just a drowned lowland area with tundra interfaces for much of the shoreline. There's actually a clastic mud flat. There's a river coming in here, so right frame, upper right, center right frame across the screen to left frame is a mud flat at the mouth of that river, and again, small stream, upper, middle, center frame, but that's just one small section now immediately back to a tundra water interface. That's that one section of mud flats at the stream mouth, or the river mouth. There's a tundra cliff coming in frame below, which has a continuous, narrowed, less than 10 meter wide beach of consolidated material. Tundra cliffs are about 10 meters high.
Okay, if you start to come down a little bit and slow down just a touch.
So there is a continuous, some sections of continuous plastic beach at the base of this tundra cliff, which is quite ice rich and peat slumped over in front. Low-lying tundra platform, tundra water interface, no plastics, and very large peat blocks, peat shoreline in front of this tundra cliff, exposed ice quite visible. It's about 15 meters high, a lot of mud slumped down with the peat. No plastics really visible in here other than some muds. Lower relief now, peat at the shoreline, granular peats accumulated through this one low-lying section. Granular peat or consolidated peat at the shoreline. And a headland here, peat. peat shoreline, granular peat material. Peat's about 1 meter or so high. Granular peat material. And some plastic sitting on the thin veneer of plastic sitting on the peat platform above the normal high water mark. Peat at the shoreline, granular peats or consolidated peat. Granular or consolidated peat at the waterline, low relief, meter or two high. Some plastics and veneer just in that one part. And again, there's a few sections of plastic veneers here, mainly granular or consolidated peat. Section of higher peat cliffs here with exposed ice and carpet draped over the top. And a peat platform with granular or unconsolidated peat exposed at the waterline. Peat beach. And through this headland, peat on a peat platform, granular peat sitting on a consolidated peat. A little bit of plastic veneer in the high part of the beach. Looks like fine-grained sands or silts. And then low peat shoreline, 1 to 2 meters high. Granular or consolidated peat, basically tundra water interface, not much in the way of coastal processes going on in here. A little bit of reworking by small waves, low wave energy conditions. Basically just a straight peat water interface. A little bit of elevation here and the plastic beach at the base of the cliff and ice-rich cliff. Seeing the ice quite clearly exposed. About a 10-meter high bluff through here. Narrow continuous beach of consolidated material with peat blocks sitting on it, now peat beach. Nice little foreland here with, and also got unconsolidated granules, pebbles, a few pebbles in the higher, mainly sand. It's predominantly sand, medium coarse grained sand. And then a peat platform back to the peat cliffs with a bit of unconsolidated material at the base. The sun's out. This is good because it gets me warm, but it's not so good for the camera. And this is a sand-rich tundra cliff now, and so getting a continuous beach 5-10 meters wide at the base of it with some slumped peat blocks sitting on the surface. 12 meters high, there's a big ice wedge there. Whoa, lovely. And quite a few big ice wedges in this. And but a continuous beach at the base, a sand beach at the base. About 10 meters wide, maybe a bit wider in places, a bit narrower in others, with peat blocks that have slumped down the cliff face on top of the beach sediments. Hope we're not working you too hard there, Dougie.
No, actually, I'm pretty good.
About a 10-15 meter high sand-rich tundra cliff. Ice wedges visible, and it's ice-rich, of course, now I've said that. So the beach narrows because there's less sediment being fed into the system. Elevation lowers here, peat platforms, and classic sitting on the peat, and just straight peat platform at the edge here. And unconsolidated granular peat sitting on peat. And plastic beach, just mid all frame, and then peat on this side of it. Peat platform. Peat beach. Peat beach through this area. Low cliff, a couple meter too high, and then inundated lowland tundra. That's definitely inundated lowland tundra.
You just keep coming around to your left.
Okay, gotcha. So we've got a huge interior bay system.
And you can climb and speed up.
and it's basically tundra, shoreline. You can see a few patches of cliff here and there, but this is an island, right, Doug?
It is.
Okay. Well, I can look at it, and I've finished it now.
It's actually a peninsula on my chart. But,
no, it's changed since them days. Peat Beach, center frame, inundated lowland tundra.
Okay, you can start coming around to your right.
Yeah, I can turn to the right. There you go, Bob. Yeah, as you see, the connection was at top center frame. But very complex again. The channel that goes in the upper frame.
Just keep coming around to your right.
Yeah, keep going to the right. And it meanders as an S and goes inland quite a distance. So can't in fact see how far it goes in. But a complex coastal zone with coastal waters extending many kilometers inland, although it's not a zone of real coastal processes. These are mainly lakes that have been become connected to each other on the tundra, and at some point those connections have made a connection with the sea, allowing coastal waters into that otherwise inland freshwater system. That's not a river that's going out of frame right now. Just a whole series of connected lakes going through top frame. Shoreline at the bottom is a straight peat water interface. Another just a little embayment. Again, a channel going into connecting to one of those lakes. Then that lake has another connection that's coming out through the top left frame. Bit of unconsolidated clastics, and again a complex system of tundra remnant islands with a foreland in center frame that's made out of clastic, medium fine grain plastics, and with the dark peat material at the waterline, granular peat material. What's that? Oh, yeah, there's just a huge lake system on the interior. Tundra remnants to my left, and another foreland, or another mud flat really, I'd call it. Very fine-grained sand mud flats. You can see the dark, also the peat material that's sitting on this mud flats through this one section. Looking inland to a whole series of connected lakes, channels, and tundra cliff, ice-rich tundra cliff going through center frame, lowering relief just a meter or so high now. Tundra beach shoreline. Tundra beach resting on a peat platform. Peat beach resting on a peat platform on this tundra with thermo-erosion leashing out the base of this cliff. Peat shoreline, ice exposed, and peat beach in front of the cliff. Ice-rich cliff. Another connection going, not visible yet, but the whole water body at the top of the picture is connected.
We'll follow this around to your right just for a little bit.
It's huge, Doug. Peat platform. I can see it from here.
Yeah, I'm just going to go up that little spit because I want to pick up the shoreline on the other side.
Okay, Doug. So drowned tundra, and looking inland to, again, another huge embayment going inland. And this is the area we've just flown.
That's good, you can come around now.
Okay, so I'm going to just spinorama here. I got you. And looking in now to this drowned low embayment system going way off into the distance.
Oh, nice little spit below you there, I suppose.
Yeah, I'm going to look down at that. Well, we just missed it, but there's a little unconsolidated classic sediment spit below.
Sand, yeah.
You want me to come around there?
if you just turn to the right and I'll look back at it.
Yeah, just
There's a peat beach.
there
we go, it's right at the end. It's a medium fine grain classic sand beach. And again, look into this interior, look into the west, just this huge embayment, coastal embayment. And we're swinging around now, picking up the shoreline. And below and behind is continuous of this character, which is just a peat interface, a peat platform. A little bit of wave action on it right now with these westerly winds as we're heading north. And some granular plastic material, sands and granules sitting on that peat platform, giving it this, the lighter color that's sitting on top is the clastics, a few pebbles as well. And now into a tundra cliff shoreline, so with a thermo-erosional niche at the base, cut into the snow, and there's a type of consolidated beach. It's right in the intertidal zone. The intertidal zone is fine-grained sands with some granules and undercut.
Do you want to deal with these islands out here?
They're tundra remnants, right? Oh, there's a clastic beach going through frame now. If they're tundra remnants, they're just inundated lowland tundra. Veneer of sand granules on the beach. Low backshore tundra, about 2 to 3 meters high, with a continuous beach of sands and granules. There's probably a few cobbles in there, but it's not a coarse-grained beach by any stretch of the imagination. Not what one would call a gravel beach. Maybe a coarse sand beach with a thin veneer of pebbles above the normal high water mark. Pretty uniform. Sand beach with a veneer of pebbles just above the high water mark in some sections, and a more or less stable tundra cliff in the backshore. And the beach disappears under the snow a little bit through here.
You want to climb up just a little bit?
There you go.
That's good.
And elevation of the cliff's about 15 meters in most sections. Some of the snow hasn't melted yet, but it doesn't really hide the character, which is of, there's a clastic beach at the base of the cliff. It's fine medium-grained sands. Can't tell if there's any granules under there, but it's definitely not a coarse sediment beach, but a fine sediment beach. And a little bit of lower relief. So a continuous clastic beach. And a relatively stable backshore tundra cliff. There's a bit of slumping going on, more from just thermal erosion, nothing related to wave or coastal processes. Heard a caribou there.
Okay, we've got cliffs on this island.
Which one? Yeah, island to the left has got tundra cliffs on this eastern shore. And cliff height still about 10-15 meters. Now quite sandy now. It changed to a sand tundra cliff, which is probably the reason for the continuous consolidated beach, which is actually under the snow right now. But you can see it at the water line where immediately subtidal zone, shallow water.
Okay, if you wanted to take a look at it, this is the best place to break off.
Alright, just give me a break for a minute there, and I'll just turn off as we hit this cliff. I gotta warm up for a second. Got a classic veneer on the peat platform. Interior part simply drowned lowland tundra.
Go straight across or go through this?
And there's sands with some
All right,
granules.
go straight across.
Little flying spit here, sands with some granules on it. And peters out into a shoal, center frame. and just a drowned tundra.
And off to your left now.
A tundra water interface. And then
Can you go left?
small spit of sand granules.
Oh, out the spit?
Yep.
We just go to the end and we'll just do a spinorama on it and look back. It's tundra shoreline, and there's a flying spit of sands, medium fine grain sands, and tundra.
Okay, you come around.
And tundra remnant at the end. A bit of consolidated, a veneer of fine consolidated material sitting on the tundra platform. And tundra granules on the left side going on west side of this island.
Looks good.
Tundra platform. Draped tundra over the face. And just a tundra platform, low tundra shoreline. Tundra platform. Tundra platform, a bit of classic resting on the platform there. Not really a beach, just a veneer layer of sands and possibly granule material. Again, this is a little beach resting on the tundra platform, sands and granules, and peat exposed in the on the seaward side of the beach. So continuous sand granule beach veneer sitting on the peat platform, and there's a few blocks of peat been washed up over onto the beach, and that ends now at the peat platform, tundra cliff with a continuous narrow sand, medium fine grain sand beach at the base. And the tundra cliff is about 10 to 12 meters high. There's a pretty continuous medium sand, fine grain sand beach at the base of the cliff. The cliff's predominantly sandy with a few exposures of ice wedges. It's a continuous narrow sand beach, although it's got a snow cover at the moment. Nevertheless, there's a continuous consolidated sand beach at the base of the tundra cliff, and a small cuspate foreland at the end of sands, medium fine grain sands. And continuous consolidated beach, 5-10 meters wide at the base of the slumping tundra, which is about 10 meters high, ice-rich tundra through this section. Quite ice-rich, lower relief. Beach is still fairly continuous, fairly meaning that it is continuous. Narrowing a bit here, we're getting higher ice-rich cliffs. And beach is just about non-existent now, a meter or two maybe at the base. Not continuous though, really. And peat slumped over the tundra cliff throughout this section, quite high, 10-12 meters. And very, very narrow beach at the base. Sand, granule material with blocks of peat.
Can you climb up here and just go straight ahead for a little bit? If you can pan up to that next little island up there.
Okay. And a cuspate foreland of medium fine grain beaches.
I don't know if you can see it or not.
Yeah, I got it on frame. There's a tundra cliff. Well, let me just try and... If I start from the right, I've got a unconsolidated cuspate foreland giving way to a tundra cliff, and then low tundra shoreline on the left, west side, and it looks pretty low all the way around the other side. There's only one area of high relief, and that's, sorry, losing that picture there. There's only one area of high relief, and that seems to be mid right frame which is the southwest corner of the island.
Okay, come around to your right again.
Yeah, that's the rest is low-lying tundra, inundated tundra, and a cuspate foreland on the south end of the island. That's where we just came from. Okay, and last the foreland, giving way to a tundra cliff shoreline, ice rich, with can't see if there's any beach in the base. I suspect not, the way it looks, but about 12 meters high, 15 meters ice rich. There's a narrow continuous beach of consolidated sediments at the base, visible underneath the snow. But, sand, now a sandy rich in the lower half of the tundra cliff and ice rich at the top. Still no real beach through here, a lot of slumped tundra blocks sitting on a very narrow and not continuous clastic beach of fine medium grain sands. Now lower relief, an ice rich tundra cliff is very ice rich. And then back slightly higher relief and a continuous beach of plastics at the base. Slumped tundra blocks sitting on the clastic beach, about 10-12 meters high in tundra cliff.
Okay, you can break off to your left, head back over to the mainland.
Okay, and so inundated lowland tundra through this area. Flying spit.
You already got all this.
Yeah, I seem to recognize that. And picking up the mainland shoreline again with tundra cliff, a very narrow, continuous beach of consolidated material at the base. As come around the headland, you can see that. Some granules and pebbles. About 15 meters high and very narrow, discontinuous beach now. It's almost petered out. Ice in the cliff very clearly evident. Continuous, but narrow, 10 meters wide, continuous beach of sands at the base of this cliff. And very sandy at the moment. Very sandy tundra cliff, continuous sand granule beach at the base.
You're ahead of me. Okay, we got you, thank you.
You know, my tape's only reading 9 minutes, Doug. Would it have reset itself? I doubt it.
No, you probably, it's just been, running for a little bit somewhere.
Oh, it's been on all the time, I think. Anyway, slumped tundra cliffs with sand granule beach at the base, fairly continuous with narrow cliff height up to about 15 meters. Continuous sand granule beach at the base, a little bit lower relief, 5 meters now, and round embayment here with a peat platform in front with a veneer of sands and granules on the surface. Now that peat shoreline just got very ice-rich section. Not seeing the clastics in here now. Just a little bit of plastic at the base, but not very much. Very ice-rich cliffs and large slump peat blocks, undercutting, thermo-erosional. Coastal character depend on the character of the permafrost or the tundra that's being exposed to the shoreline. Very ice-rich through here, peat at the base now, granular peat, and a peat platform with peat granules on the top of it, peat shoreline, peat beach. Peat beach in front of an ice-rich tundra cliff, almost 100% ice, this stuff. Pretty impressive. And slump blocks, large slump blocks, and some carpet is draped over the cliff. Slump blocks and draped carpet, so peat over in front. One small section of plastics, slump peat blocks or carpet mat over the top of the thermally eroding cliff. A couple of slide areas, peat slump blocks. Now slightly lower relief down to about 3 to 4 meters. And slump blocks undercutting a carpet mat of tundra over the cliff face. Relatively low relief, couple of meters up to now, 4 or 5 meters now. Ice undercutting, thermal erosional undercutting. Relief maybe 4 or 5 meters at the most. And just a tundra shoreline. Peat beach resting on the peat platform, and a peat platform going through frame. A low elevation peat platform and a flying spit of peat. The entrance to this embayment. This is basically peat and peat platform, and then some classics in upper right in the inner part. Very low shoreline here, looks to be all just a thin veneer of peat right at the waterline. A little bit of a cut there, about less than a meter, half a meter maybe. Just a tundra right at the shoreline. Try and get a better view of this. It's just an interface, it's just a peat water interface, and some of the peat's been killed off by the salt water, giving the brown color. Little pockets of accumulated granular peat, or maybe some plastics in there. Very low now. This is just a peat platform with granular peat sitting on the top of it. Maybe some plastics in there, but it looks mainly peat. Consolidated peat. There's some, now we're getting into some plastic fine sands sitting on the surface. Very low relief. Yeah, it's got some fine sands and maybe some muds in there. Mixed in, there's also some peat as well. So very, very fine-grained beach anyway. Classified as fine-grained sand beach through here. Very low relief. Fine-grained sand beach now. Yeah, peat in the back. Peat shoreline. Actually, this is a peat beach now. Probably got some mixture of some plastics in there. Now very narrow back peat beach shoreline with a low tundra cliff behind. I got a 5-minute tape warning, Doug.
Okay.
And peat, shoreline peat beach, granular peats below, granular peat, with a little edge to it. It's a peat platform with granular peat on the surface, low shoreline. peat platform, eroding edge to the peat. See, salt water's killed up a lot of the original tundra vegetation, surface vegetation. Peat beach resting on a peat platform. Peat beach resting on a peat platform. Unconsolidated with granular peat sitting on the surface. Very low relief. Peat granules on a peat platform. And fairly uniform peat granules sitting on a peat platform. Peat granules and a peat platform, very low relief. Peat granules on a peat platform, little flying spit there of it, and a bit of plastics in frame there. Some plastics in this muddy, fine-grained sands. It's a drowned lowland in the back shore, peat resting on a peat platform, just a lot of peat through here. The wide peat flats, the only way I could describe it, peat flats or peat platform, granular material, probably resting on just a tundra surface. Tell me when's a good place to cut off, buddy.
Well, I was hoping to make it to this point up here. I'm not sure if it will.
Okay. Well, I'm just hitting 2 minutes. We'll probably make it. Peat's rested on a peat platform and thin veneer of fine sands and probably silts on the platform on the interior part. Basically it's peat at the waterline, little peat scarp or granular peat material. Little peat scarp at the waterline and some unconsolidated fine sands and silts resting on the interior part of the platform above the normal high water mark. And tundra cliff, big thermo-erosional cut below the surface, and slumped blocks and peat at the base of the cliff. Very ice rich, tremendous exposures of ice, and thermal undercutting, thermal erosional niche at the base. Peat platform, unconsolidated granule of peat on the surface of the peat platform with this lower relief, and just a drowned embayment, inundated lowland tundra. Real cliff now, and low relief, so a peat platform with a low relief and peat cliff and ice rich cliff with a high relief. No plastics at the base of this. The ice rich cliff with a peat platform and unconsolidated peat at the base. Such as going through frame right now. Low peat cliff with slump blocks or draped peat over the face of the cliff. No, 0 minutes. We did very well, Doug. And just a carpet of peat draped over the face of the cliff. So we're going to do a circle here, Bob, while we just change tapes. Okay.